Destruction des structures politiques, des structures sociales, des structures, des savoir-faire aussi. Je pense à la destruction de l'artisanat indien, la fameuse phrase de Marx parlant des plaines du Gange qui sont blanchies par les ossements des tisserands indiens.
C'est très précis. En XVIIIe siècle, l'industrie textile indienne était nettement supérieure en qualité à l'industrie textile britannique. Les Britanniques ont détruit l'industrie textile indienne et ont interdit qu'à l'intérieur de l'Empire britannique, on puisse importer des draps et d'autres produits manufacturés des colonies. Et donc on a tout produit à Londres, en copiant aussi les techniques indiennes. Et alors à partir de Londres, on a exporté du textile, des cotonnades, vers l'Inde et on les a imposées en Inde. C'est une œuvre d'exploitation, de spoliation et de destruction de ce qui existait sur place.
On a à la fois cassé les cadres sociaux et les structures, mais aussi détruit les moyens de subsistance. J'ai parlé tout à l'heure des tisserands indiens. Et c'est clair que en Inde, quand on regarde chronologiquement l'apparition et le développement des famines, ça correspond aux destructions des structures artisanales, de la propriété paysanne, des réformes foncières imposées par les Anglais.
Those challenges are still there. Some of the settlers, when they moved from this country in 1964-65 up to 1970, now they benchmarked their operations in Europe. And therefore we became the producers of raw materials, and they were now the agents for marketing and processing. Therefore, all the value addition of our crops were done away from Africa. Because like roasting of coffee, just to pick that particular crop, is done away from Kenya. In fact, you are aware that Germany, which does not have a single bush of coffee, is the largest exporter of coffee. Tea is the same. The tea that you consume in Sudan, you take it first to Europe, then Lipton brings it back to Sudan and a number of other countries in Northern Africa and a number of other countries.
One of the legacies of colonialism is that the poor countries of the third world are continuing to export raw materials, and the countries of Europe and North America produce and export finished products. This stems from a practice that was developed long ago, and the intention was to make sure that the countries of the third world remain backward and remain dependent and are never able to develop. So to this day, they are continuing to survive on the export of raw materials. That has always been to the disadvantage of the country exporting the raw materials, and it gets worse each year.
The main legacy of the colonizers was the change in mentality, religion, and culture. They came with a Bible in one hand and a rifle in the other, preaching the exclusivity of salvation and imposing Christianity by force upon all, destroying every indigenous religious item they could find.
Bien, hablando de la colonia, es un poco doloroso recordar esto. Desde ese momento hemos olvidado nuestra cultura, nuestra lengua, nuestro idioma, nuestra escritura. Por entonces los aymaras somos más antes, llegaron los incas, en esa época había una cultura muy diferente y teníamos nuestra propia escritura que eran los quipus, y actualmente eso se ha perdido, no lo tenemos, nos los han robado. ¿Para qué? ¿Para qué nos han robado? Para someter a su capricho, a ser servientes de ellos.
La conséquence la plus importante et qui remonte précisément à l'une de ces formes de la colonisation qui a été la conversion religieuse, le travail des missionnaires, etc., c'est la colonisation mentale, la colonisation de l'imaginaire, l'imposition d'une culture, un impérialisme proprement culturel avec ce que ça implique comme destruction des structures mentales, conception du temps, de l'espace, et ce qui a eu comme effet, en fait, de provoquer dans ces sociétés une perte de sens.
The conquistadors and the colonizers introduced the concept of superiority in terms of race and culture, in which the indigenous people were considered objects destined by God to slave for the white man. This created millions of marginalized people who still today have not recovered their place in society. During colonial times, no equality would be tolerated between the white man and the colored one, either in church or in state. Even today, while a Mass is celebrated in the Cathedral of Sucre, the former Bolivian capital, the old indigenous people who dare to enter will still sit on the ground. At the same time, in the next-door chapel built for the indigenous people, a local band tries to recapture their lost culture and traditions. The belief in a collective form of social organization was the indigenous people's best protection against a commodity economy, something for which they had no desire. They believed in a communal property and public utility, where the assets of the group were shared by all. This is precisely what the Europeans had to replace with the concept of individualistic interest, which drove the expansion of Europe.
Part of the purpose of Europeans in the early age of exploration was to take Christianity to people around the world. At the same time this was developing, a new form of Christianity was emerging that was very individualistic, and this was closely associated with an individualistic view of property. There had always been some element of private use of individual families using property, but it was always tied to some communal affiliation. With the modern idea of private property, it meant that someone could use property without any obligation, any reciprocal relationship to community. You owned it, you could use it any way you wanted, and you didn't owe anyone anything. In a sense, this was a system of everyone for himself, and you could say this is the beginning of capitalism. So during this period, we have a marriage of a religious idea of individualism with the idea of individualism in owning private property.
I mean, you may not be able to abolish poverty and have usher in the golden age by just saying, eradicate private property, everything will be all right. That won't work, and we have to recognize that it won't work, and the temptation to go in that direction may have to be restrained by